Magaly Chocano is a native of Madrid, Spain, founded Sweb Development. I assume it's Sweb, not S-Web. Is it S-Web? Sweb, got it. Development in 2008 is a web mobile app development and social media marketing firm. Today, Sweb Development is an award-winning digital agency that services digital marketing and software development needs worldwide from right here in San Antonio. Magaly has been recognized as one of the 10 fun and fearless Latinas by Cosmo Magazine, awarded the South by Southwest Interactive Social Revolucion Innovator Award, recognized as the Small Business of the Year by the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and is in the Women's Hall of Fame for Technology. What an underachiever. Everybody welcome Magaly Chocano.
Thank you. I was so relieved to see everybody reading, because I have like my entire slides in writing, so I will be reading strictly from my paper. Also, my name is actually Magaly Chocano, but that is actually what my presentation is all about. Twice? Okay, this once. Okay, good. All right. I'm the youngest of three, born to Peruvian parents on U.S. soil. At the age of 2, I moved to Spain and grew up in Madrid. My parents gave me a very well-rounded perspective on life. I had an international private education. I was tricultural and bilingual. At a very young age, I discovered I fit in everywhere and nowhere. Since I was born, I lived my life in 3 different worlds. I continuously tried to translate American tradition to my Peruvian parents and Spanish friends. Tried trick-or-treating in Madrid in the 1970s. I quickly learned how to read people from the sidelines. Today, I bring you an honest evaluation of my professional and personal assets. I use this story about my mom and myself because it's a universal one. It's also a narrative that can be translated to your next job search, spouse search, workout plan, or mirror evaluation. In other words, welcome to my therapy session. In my family, I was the peacemaker, the chubby, funny one that adapted well under any circumstance. My mom never thought I would amount to much, especially because 1, I was a woman, and 2, during high school, my blood alcohol content level on the weekends was probably higher than my GPA. I was often, if not always, overlooked. My mom had a plan for my life, and she feared that I may not make it. I was flighty, I partied hard, and my grades sucked. She mainly fussed about my appearance and reputation, because the only plan was to find a good husband. Most critically, there was never a discussion of achievement. There was still no faith in women, especially those who didn't prioritize their romantic capital. On a whim in 1995, at the age of 21, I moved from Madrid to San Antonio, 5,180 miles away from home to finish college. I had no apparent skill set. I'd never worked or even done my laundry. And with $450 in my pocket and no clear direction, I was adding my 4th college to the list. My mom never wanted me to pursue an artistic career, so I started a band with my best friend. And with 6 original songs under our belt, we went from our living room to our first gig in less than 3 months. We recorded 3 albums and sold almost 10,000 copies from the trunk of our car. Everyone on the outside seemed to believe in me, but my mom felt I was reckless. Reckless? Tirso and I married 5 weeks after we met. A week later, we packed our bags off to Savannah, Georgia. He was going to art school and I, well, who knows. We had different approaches to life. I was a barreling freight train and he was a horse-drawn carriage. The only thing we did know is that for all the things we weren't, we made up a million times over for the things we were. From student recruiter in France to a producer in San Antonio, in July of 2008, I quit my job and opened a web development company. I think I knew more about coronary artery quadruple bypass surgery than about software development at that time. No, seriously, I had someone else design my website for my web development firm. As I was getting a PhD in everythingology, I clumsily figured out how to build my own company. Ultimately, what I knew I wanted was to make my business a reflection of how I wanted to treat others as well as how I wanted others to treat me. I magically built a business out of a crazy idea that I would have people design and build their own apps. Web development was born, and so was the insanity of being on every media outlet overnight and getting calls from VCs, What are VCs? Venomous creatures? Oh no, venture capitalists. And Cosmo magazine? What? I had the good fortune of marrying a saint who then became my greatest cheerleader. We also happened to have 2 pretty badass daughters who quickly became the center of our attention. Shit. Now I had to compete for it. Tough competition. This is the point where it should seem all doubts had been shed. I had drunk my own Kool-Aid. I was unstoppable. But that's the quicksand of perception. Because spontaneity and recklessness can have the same outcome. Foolishness and inspiration can look exactly the same. And I was certainly spontaneous and 100% reckless. You see, there was a clear difference in what my mom said I was and what I actually internalized. My mom called me impulsive. I felt I was adventurous. She called me shallow. I felt I was a good communicator. She ripped me for not being a studious intellectual. I knew I was tremendously intuitive. She said I was a bad planner. I was just open to opportunity. Through my life journey, I came to realize I was good at seeing hidden gold mines, understanding the open communication, the value of feelings, and recognizing the talent in people who had also been overlooked. These were the fundamental pillars for which I had always lived by. I was able to rename my assets from impulsive, shallow, and reckless to intuitive, driven, and generous. I finally began to assess outside of the context of my mom. Tired of bouncing around, feeling that I didn't find my passion, and tired of looking to my sides and dreaming I was like someone else, I had, without much thought, already built these strong pillars into my business, my family, and my life. Despite not meeting any of my mom's expectations and or dreams, she made me who I am, and I am everything she is not. She indirectly taught me that I'm here to walk my children through life, helping them discern what is the right thing to do with love and kindness, but that doesn't mean that my right is their right. And as a Latina woman with no technology background, no business background, no political or professional polish, messy and brutally honest, and absolutely no skill set, I had somehow been able to battle my own demons and reach goals I didn't realize I had. 5 things I know I've learned. Don't ever look to your sides. Don't let others define who you should be. Don't listen to everything everyone says, except girls, you listen to me. Envision it, write it down, and go get it. Everything always works out perfectly. I continuously try to pass this knowledge, strength, and passion on to my girls, although they roll their eyes and tell me to stop with the #life lessons. Having found the definition of what success is for me, while lovingly allowing them to define their own. Thanks for the therapy session, Bill Me.
Let me ask you this. You recently were awarded one of the best places to work by the San Antonio Business Journal, SWEB. Mm-hmm. And, you know, back in the dot-com days, that kind of meant like baristas on every floor and Razor scooters and foosball, and Rackspace has those sort of fun slides, you know, the spiral slides and all that kind of stuff. Is that stuff still relevant in 2017? Like, what does it take today to make a workplace fun?
I would just
best?
love them.
Love them?
Yeah. Love them, take care of them.
Love your employees.
Sure. Yeah.
Simple as that.
Sure. That's what I do. I love them. I bring them smoothies. We have massage Mondays, yoga Fridays. Yeah. Anybody want to work with me? I'm looking for developers and designers, by the way.
What's your website? Let me ask you this. I Googled, and I apologize for saying your name wrong.
No,
my goodness.
Yeah.
Is it Magaly?
Magaly.
Magaly.
It's like, oh,
Magaly.
my golly.
Oh, Magaly. That's a good way to remember it. I Googled in the search bar Magaly, M-A-G-A-L-Y space, your last name came up next. It was the first worldwide suggestion from Google. That's your own brand. You've obviously worked on that. How important is that today? You have your own brand. This is a big deal. I mean, you've made national headlines. I mean, you've been in mainstream media. Yeah, that's a big deal.
That's a lot of luck.
That's a lot of luck.
Sure. I mean, look, I had a good idea at the right time, at the right place, and people were very kind. I'm also a woman, hispana, in technology, there's two of us. So, I mean, that's also, let's face it. And so it's easy.
So it's a good story.
Yeah, it's a great story. Yeah.
All right. Let me ask you this. The social media platforms that we all are familiar with, we have Facebook and Instagram and even LinkedIn and all this kind of stuff. What is the dominant Spanish language social media platform? Facebook. Mm-hmm. Why? And where is it going? Broad question.
Well, I mean, Hispanics they use either WhatsApp, which is not really social media per se, but that's how they communicate. And then Facebook is just it's a huge, social platform where everybody's on.
Right.
And they use it mostly also just to, show their families and their friends, but that's where they're mostly.
So Facebook, okay. So just like here in America.
Yeah.
Wow, where's this all going? I mean, to me, I use Facebook, and it's generally a sort of depressing proposition. I'll be honest. I mean, I feel like it's sort of 51% negative and depressing. I don't know if any of you guys have had that same experience. Who do I follow?
Yeah, who are your friends?
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I should do some more blocking.
Them.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Actually, ruthless blocking. Yes. Ruthless blocking. Go down. Everyone that is in your news feed.
Yeah.
Right. You just block them. You just block them. It's simple.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Well, Magaly, thank you so much. Fantastic job. Everyone, Magaly Chocano.